Hello, welcome to the Triangle. Israel Rivera, Walter
doing,
Douglas.
sir?
Filling in for
Nice.
David Hoffman. You're filling in for TJ Hopkins?
filling in for TJ this week.
Yeah,
Filling in for
he's
TJ.
got a little bit of a cold, so he's not feeling
Yes.
good. So we're going to talk about baseball, we're going to talk about the NBA, and we're going to talk about the NFL.
Right.
We're going to start with the Cubbies, because I know you guys love the Cubbies, and you guys want to talk about your Cubs.
Yes.
Jake Arrieta threw a no-hitter over the weekend. Over the week, that was incredible.
And the thing is, his no-hitter, it didn't even look like he wanted to throw a no-hitter. It was one of those games where it's just like Jake Arrieta just being as great as he is, and the Cubs just being such a great team. And plus, it doesn't hurt that we were going against the Reds either. But, you know,
He's thrown 24 straight gems, like 24 really good quality starts, according to baseballs and statistics. And they're saying it's probably like the best stretch of baseball that a pitcher's ever played in the history of the
So
game.
he's only had one loss. I think he's like 20-1 in his last
He's-
21 starts. The only
yeah,
game that he
24
lost is the
starts
game
is-
the Cubs got no hit by Cole Hamels.
Yep.
That is it. Like,
Yeah.
like he hasn't.
24 starts, 24 gems. Like I said, it's 24 straight gems. Wow, yeah, he's up there with like Kershaw. He's up there amongst the elite pitchers.
And I think yesterday was the 3-year anniversary of when he got sent to the D League or to whatever the minor league is.
minors? Oh, yeah, from
by
the Orioles?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're probably kicking themselves in.
Like if you're the Orioles, man, you couldn't make this guy work. You couldn't find a way to make it work. Like,
Yeah, he always had talent. They just thought he just could never put it together, and the Cubs made a trade. And it's just little things in terms of his delivery that has made him a better pitcher.
and you can see he bulked up. He's obviously put a lot of work into it.
Yeah,
Like,
he's got all the talent. He just needed to fix a few things, and that's what he did with the Cubs. And now you're starting to see the.
And if you're the Cincinnati Reds, you had to play them again last night, and you just came off a game where you gave up 16 runs and you
16
couldn't get a
runs.
hit. You couldn't get a single hit
So
off
like
of them.
20, I think it was like how much in the last two games the Cubs scored like 22 runs to like 1 run to the Reds. I mean, yeah, that's a bad
The
team.
Cubs are like
The
if you-
Central's pretty much they're pretty much down beside the Cubs.
Like anybody who wants to complain about the Cubs, like I don't even understand how you can like watching what they're doing. Like as you're saying, like they score 5 runs and they don't
Yeah,
even,
they score.
It doesn't even look like they're even
Yeah,
trying.
they score on average. I mean, they're gonna be up there. I would say like the really really good average is like 6-7 runs. That's like pretty much they're gonna be tops in the league on that, probably 5-6. But I mean, I think they're gonna average like 6 to 7 runs a game. I mean, that's how good they are.
Yeah, this Cubs
Yeah,
team is
that's-
big time. It's a,
And it's just like they were pretty much like so in training camp and
it was training camp. I don't think they took training camp seriously
Yeah, I
at
don't
all
think so
because it was
either,
just one of those things where it's like, we know we're good. We're just out here having fun, showing support to the fans. But when season time comes around, and as it has now,
Yeah.
they mean business. And their upcoming schedule, too. We're going against the Brewers. So this Cubs team's going to be easily out far.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're gonna win that. This division's weak, man. I mean, I don't see that division's not competitive at all. I mean, in the playoffs is where they're gonna, meet their match.
okay, so let's not just like the Cubs are really good, but the South Side has been.
Oh, yeah, the
just
White
as-
Sox
just
have
as
been
good
pretty
as well.
good, yeah,
they've
they've
been surprisingly how good they've been. Like they've been incredible.
Yeah, especially since all the off season stuff with in spring training with Adam LaRoche,
Yeah.
stuff like that. With Ken Williams supposedly lying to his players. You could either say however you want it, but I mean they've actually come together collectively as a unit and have been playing pretty good baseball to start the season. So.
I think eventually they'll fizzle out.
It's going to die off.
Yeah,
I don't think they can possibly keep up.
Not
this
trying to
pace.
knock the Chicago teams. I love Chicago, but
Yeah.
I realistically, I see the Sox winning maybe 70, 80 games at tops. But
70,
they're-
80. I'd say about 85. I think they're a little bit better than last year.
They're not gonna be a playoff.
I think they'll be a playoff.
they'll be
team.
pushing for a wild card.
They're
if
better.
anything.
Yeah, they'll definitely be pushing for a wild card. I think they're up there. They're up there with the Royals right now.
I'd be
I don't know
shocked
if
if
they
they made the playoffs. Like that's just period. Like I'd be shocked if they made the playoffs.
If
I
they
don't
made
think
the
I don't
playoffs,
think they got it.
I'd be surprised. I don't think anybody would have predicted them.
Yeah, I mean they got a really good, one really good pitcher. I mean the other guys have been,
Yeah.
the other guys have been okay. Chris Hale is, a Cy Young candidate every single year.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move over to the NBA, and a Bulls guy, Tom Thibodeau, hired for president of basketball operations for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I think that's an
and
awesome
head
move.
coach.
I think that's an awesome move for Minnesota.
I totally disagree.
It's
I
a brilliant move.
I can't
It's a
disagree with you
brilliant move.
more.
I think that's an awesome.
I think he's an excellent coach, but I think you got to
think
keep those
that's
two
an
jobs
amazing-
separately. I don't think
No.
nobody has shown that they can do it. They can like be basketball. Like Stan Van Gundy hasn't been that good with the Pistons. Yeah, they sure they made the playoffs, but they're gonna have to eat that Josh Smith money because he just waved them. Like he was like, I'm tired of you. Like you could have tried to trade him. Did anything else? Like
in that aspect, I think in the front office position.
because if you get sick of a player, like if one of them has like a bad night or a bad game, you can just be like, nah, I'm just gonna waive you. Like I'm tired of you. You don't show enough work ethic as a coach. I think the Tom Thibodeau, the coach, and Tom Thibodeau, like the GM basketball, is gonna conflict all the time.
I think you're seeing a little bit of that in like Minnesota, where Flip Saunders was president and coach, and now Sam Mitchell was interim because Flip died, passed away.
I feel like it's a good move though, because they also are bringing the assistant GM from the Spurs to the organization as well. I feel like
you gotta let him handle everything.
With Tom, I feel like it's going to work because they have young guys. They have guys who want to work. They have the work ethic. They just need a coach who had the background. Not saying Flip Saunders wasn't a good coach. He was a great coach. He's a legendary coach. But now Tom's here. He's going to push them. He's going to make them a threat. And I say either next season because of free agency, because of draft picks, they're going to land someone big. They might land KD now because he sees that their organization means business. He sees the organization means business now.
He's not going to Minnesota.
And who wouldn't want to play with Karl Anthony Towns? Who wouldn't want to play with A. Wiggins? Who wouldn't want to play with those group of guys who show in the night, who beat the Warriors? You see that team. It was one time, but a team that wasn't even supposed to be able to beat
I think he's
the
a free
Warriors.
agent for this season.
I think he is too.
Rubio, he
is.
I don't think he's gonna be. He's gonna be elsewhere. But it's like Tom Thibodeau. Like he needs to get like a legitimate offensive guy because sometimes a lot of his sets on offense become disgustingly predictable. Where he just like they run the same thing over and over again, and like you see in the playoffs that stuff doesn't work. And because he works his players so hard, like I feel like they get drained out by the time the playoffs come around.
I don't
because
know
they play
where
so many.
I don't know where you say that because teams have always been top 10 efficiency and offense.
In the regular
even
season.
with the Bulls.
In the regular season,
Yeah,
because
but
they play harder than anybody else in the league. Because Tom Thibodeau drives them like a cattle driver.
But see what you fail to realize is that
I don't fail to realize
No,
anything.
this is what you fail to realize. This is what you fail to realize a lot of times is those teams against the Bulls. Yeah, you ran into a Washington Wizards team. Hey, their time was there. But other than that, every single other year, you were like falling to the Heat, and LeBron James.
And falling to the Heat when the Bulls were up in the series, when one move messed up the complete series.
Yeah,
it wasn't
that's how
It wasn't Thibodeau's fault that Ray Allen hit a shot. It wasn't Thibodeau's fault that LeBron James hit a shot. It was they did everything they needed to do. It's just luck of the draw.
And he's had a couple series where I think he's kind of thrown in the towel a couple times against Miami, where he didn't take Omer Ashik out of the game that one series.
I think the last series, that last year's series where against the Cavs, I think if you would have used Mirotic a lot more, it would have balanced out your attack.
That's the other thing. If you're the GM of the Bulls, like why you even give Tom Thibodeau a bunch of players? He's never going to play any of these guys. Like his rotations are too small. He's going to burn out all those players.
I feel like
they're young though. Those guys are super.
So were the Bulls guys when he first got there.
I mean, Luol Deng already had the injuries. Derrick Rose was young and he was worried, but he was worried because he had the work ethic.
He shouldn't have been in that game.
But Derrick Rose has always been playing like tremendous minutes since he was like in high school. A lot of those
never
guys,
been in that game.
That's you can't necessarily say that because it was just a freak. It was a freak accident.
I mean, Tom Thibodeau was it was a freak accident. Yes, it was a hop step. He tore his ACL off a hop step.
He shouldn't have been in the game.
And I feel like with this time
off, who you're gonna put CJ Watt? What if they would have came back? What if Philly would have came back?
Like a minute in the game. Like the Sixers have taken a lot of their starters out too.
They
already given they thrown in the white flag and Tom Thibodeau, get out there. Go play.
But see then that goes back to the point that the GM and Garpax didn't put enough around him. You had like guys like Keith Bogans and Ronnie Brewer who weren't scoring enough. So you didn't have that option to be like, hey Derek, these last 2 minutes we're gonna keep you out the game because we're up by say 12 points. And then Philly started to hit a couple shots. You can't fault them for keeping Derek in the game.
And with these last
Those
few
guys are
seasons,
scrubs.
with Tom not actually coaching, I saw that he stated, like, I've been watching how the league is now. So I feel like he's going to incorporate a few more offensive sets now, and he's also going to not be as
that seems different.
stingy. He's not going to be as stingy with his rotation because
I'll believe it when I see it.
The Wolves actually have a good good people coming off the bench. They have Shabazz Muhammad, who dropped 16, 20 points on any team.
He's all right.
He's better than all right. He's developing into a very nice six-man. And then if Zach LaVine comes off the bench, that's just another
I
threat.
think Zach LaVine might start.
Yeah, I think
if
Rubio's
gone.
Yeah, they trade Rubio. I don't think Rubio's in their future plans.
He's definitely not in their future.
He's never panned out. He was supposed to come over here and be the guy who can put up 15 and 10.
He's a basketball prodigy.
He's pretty good. He's still pretty good. I mean,
he's okay.
10 and 10.
He's okay.
He's improved his field goal percentage. He's actually a better shooter now.
He still can't shoot well though. That's not saying a lot.
That's why people slack off him. It's like Rondo. It's like a lot like Rondo.
Yeah, he's
well, at least with
still
Rondo is actually a better facilitator than Rubio.
I think it's the same. It's the same.
I think it's close.
I think it's definitely
Rubio
the same.
is really.
Yeah,
he makes some passes that are just
like Pistol Pete. Pistol Pete Maravich.
He's been
That's
excellent.
even a word.
All right, so then we move over to Scott Brooks. Scott Brooks got hired.
That's a ploy to get
I can't believe Randy Whitman got fired. I don't think he deserved to lose his job.
I think he did.
I don't think he
did.
I don't think he did.
I think he did.
It was super unfair.
It was very
I don't think it was unfair.
It was very unfair.
I don't care. Bradley Beal was out for a certain amount of time or whatever.
Because of that.
I think.
If we're not even having this conversation, if John Wall doesn't get hurt in the playoffs last year, they probably beat the Hawks in the series, and then they probably played in the finals last year. If John Wall doesn't get hurt,
yes,
they would have beaten the Cavs. They would have beaten the Cavs.
They had the Hawks number. They could have definitely made it to the finals.
They could have beaten the Cavs.
They could have easily.
Wizards Warriors would have been an excellent finals last year. That would have been John Wall versus Steph Curry.
Keep dreaming.
But no, I feel like that bringing him on as a coach was a cry of help and like to show KD, hey, come to Washington. We got your coach that you actually liked. Come come here.
We got a coach that you actually coached you.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that is like a terrible decision. Like
I don't think
he's not. I don't think Scott. Like
Tom
KD's,
Thibodeau
I don't think
part
KD's
two.
and Scott Brooks' relationship is so strong that he would leave Oklahoma City because he's there.
No, I feel
I
like
think Oklahoma City prematurely fired him. He had a lot of success.
He's one of the most winningest coach in history, and they fired him.
But
I feel like he was on that team at the right time.
I think he got lucky because he had two of the top 10.
He got lucky. You can kind of say just like
he took over that team. They moved from another city. They just said, forget Seattle. We're moving to Oklahoma City. We're calling it the Oklahoma City Thunder. We're building a new brand here in a new city, and we're gonna give you 2 young horses, actually 3 young horses to start off with. And basically he took those guys, young team. They're like 21 years old to the finals.
Yeah, but I think they would have developed into. I don't think whoever the coach was, those guys would have developed anyways.
I call that scenario back in the day the Doug Collins and the Phil Jackson. Doug Collins was on a good team. Got fired for a better coach, arguably, and they won some championships.
And now Billy Donovan.
He's not a Phil Jackson in the slightest. They actually downgraded, I feel like, on that coaching opportunity.
Yeah.
You can kind of say also just like the Vinny Del Negro and the Tom. A
too,
good
exactly.
coach that took the Bulls to the playoffs, won 50-plus games each season. And then Tibbs came in, did his thing, almost won a championship, should have won a championship.
I think Vinny Del Negro was prematurely. I mean,
he was prematurely
fired from the Bulls and from the Clippers.
Yes.
I mean, he upstarted both of those teams, and then they're like two Celtics. Oh, we're gonna replace you by Tom Thibodeau, and then you're gonna go coach the Clippers, and then we're gonna replace you by Doc Rivers. Like, how's this guy? And then he's never got a fair break. No.
Each season too, 50-plus wins.
Especially with not with the Bulls, but with the Clippers. Yes.
There have been a lot of that stuff happens in the coaching industry. Like, it's an unfair business. Like George
it's
Karl won Coach of the Year one season, got fired. Lionel Hollins, I think, won Coach of the Year one year and got fired.
Kevin McHale.
Yeah, Lionel Hollins.
7 games into the season. It's kind of ridiculous because coaching positions never actually.
Can I bring this up because before we go into something else. If we're talking about like coaching, because I brought this up to you, and you don't think that he does deserve it. But this guy from Memphis Grizzlies, Dave Yeager, how he got to that team to the playoffs is
because they won a
remarkable.
Lot of they won a lot of games at the beginning of the year. Like they won a lot of games.
I will agree with you on that. But when you lose your main guy in Marcus Gasol, when you lose Mike Conley,
all those D-League guys,
literally they had the most changes in the roster I think in history. They had D-Leaguers. They had probably guys who were not even playing basketball on their team at a certain point. They found guys and like, okay, we need you to make this roster.
They got these guys. They got these guys from the 7-Eleven, man.
I feel like he definitely should have won some kind of
well, they haven't given out Coach of the Year yet, but he's not. I'm telling you right now,
he's not going to get it. But man, he should be in consideration.
I
totally disagree.
He should definitely be in consideration. He's not
They've
getting
been terrible.
no love.
Do you realize that they have been terrible? Like,
Yeah,
the
but
only
he's
reason
actually pieced
the
them
the only
together.
reason they're even in the playoffs now is because they got hot and they played well at the beginning of the season, and then they just fizzled.
They didn't fizzle enough to get out of the playoffs, though.
That's because everybody in the West nobody wanted to make the playoffs in the West. They were all clowning. They're all screwing around.
I mean, and that's another argument. I think the East from
Oh, stop it. We're not having
the
this
East
covered. No.
5 to 8 is
No,
better
no,
than
no.
the West 5 to 8.
Zero chance.
I would definitely agree with that.
No way.
Yeah, they got better record. They have better record.
All the C's are mediocre. And because they have a better record, they get to play each other
All
all
the
the time.
West teams are mediocre from 5 to 8 are
Yeah,
mediocre.
but all their records are a little strange because they had like Golden State and the Spurs who didn't lose a lot of games. So like those losses, like the losses that would have been for Golden State and the Spurs had to go somewhere else.
But even
so they
then,
got spread out throughout the rest of the
Last
conference.
year, the Warriors won how many games? 60
Something.
something,
They
and
won
the
73
and the
games,
Spurs won 60 something too. 50 was
Yeah,
it?
they
Was
won-
it
I don't think they
early?
won 60
It was
games.
close to
Something like
60,
that.
I believe. But still, you can't account for they're going to win every game practically. Now everyone else is just going to start losing. No, you got to say.
But that's what happened. And not to mention the Pelicans got ravaged by injuries.
But the
this season.
Pelicans never.
The Pelicans,
They were going to be a
didn't make
playoff
the
team. They got,
playoffs.
like everybody got injured.
Yeah, they didn't make the playoffs. Yeah. So I think a lot of those teams are going to be back in the playoffs. Milwaukee, the Pelicans,
Milwaukee's
the
so-
Bulls. Hopefully.
I don't think the Bulls.
I don't think the Bulls are going to make the playoffs. Under Fred Hoiberg, I don't think the Bulls
I
are
think
going
they
to
don't
do it.
play for Hoiberg.
This is the thing.
man.
Fred Hoiberg, none of those guys are going
The
anywhere.
Wizards are definitely going back to
Yeah.
the playoffs. Minnesota might
I say
switch
Minnesota
out.
makes a push for 7-8 seed.
I think they're going to
7-8
I
seed.
think the
they're still a
Rockets.
season
I think the
away.
Rockets are done
After they
next
get rid of
year.
Dwight Howard,
I think that whole team might get imploded.
Yeah, I think
man,
James
they're
Harden's
doing the wrong
probably
thing.
done.
They keeping James Harden. When I feel like James Harden's the issue.
So this is where it brings us to our next topic. We're going to talk about the Rockets. So at the end of the game, this happened.
Livingston knocked it away, and here comes Harden. 1 point Golden State lead. Harden against the backpedaling Iguodala. He got it! He got it! Timeout Golden State! Rockets lead it!
Like, what do you guys think about this?
It's
Like,
the
how do you
Yeah,
hit a
that
game-winning shot? Your bench doesn't react.
It's
Like
the
nobody
James,
cares.
It's the James Harden effect. This we know James is going to put up 40 shots, and okay, he's going to make one big shot. Who else is getting the ball on that team? Dwight Howard's not getting the ball. Trevor
Ariza, you
Patrick
get him.
Beverly's not getting the ball. Trevor Ariza gets the ball only in the corner to shoot a three.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, he's never going to pass the ball, and he makes a shot where he actually, and the NBA has set this,
No.
he pushes off and gets the shot off.
That
That's
was not
the
a
only
foul.
reason.
I don't understand
it's a
why
foul.
the
It's a
NBA why
foul.
did he even come out and say
Because
that?
they had to let them know the officiating in the last minute or 2 minutes of that game was terrible. You see Draymond Green drag Beasley on the floor. You see, it's just so many things that no one called, and it's just like, okay, yeah, they won, but are we really excited we won? No, because we know the next game, if Steph plays, we're going to lose, and we know the game after that, we go to Oracle, we're going to lose. So why
Dwight
are
Howard-
you delaying the inevitable?
Dwight Howard is playing like a real, like he's not playing good at all. And he's not. You're going against Draymond Green, 6'7"?
But that's not his fault if he doesn't get the ball in the post. If James
They're-
Harden is
they're-
shooting,
they're
not-
they're not passing.
feeding
They're
him,
not
dude.
passing the ball.
Like
That's
James
not his
Harden
fault.
is the most selfish player in the NBA.
This is the problem.
He's
what
like
goes
Kobe
back.
2.0.
And he has the
not
highest
good.
turnovers
But
in the
this is
league
what
too.
goes- This is I agree with wholeheartedly, and then we can actually talk about the Charles Barkley thing because I agree wholeheartedly with what Charles Barkley is saying. You can't build an NBA team purely on analytics. You can't just do that. You can't say, hey, because looking over league wide, most teams they make a high percentage. They make more percentage threes than they make twos, and the higher percentage shots of course they're going to be right under the basket. So those are your only two shots. If you look at Houston's team, that's all they shoot is threes and shots that are under the bucket. They don't shoot anything in between there. They don't do any of that.
I think that guy's getting fired too.
Yeah, Daryl Morey, yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. You cannot have. I don't even know how that team went to the Western Conference Finals last year.
Because they had a great coach.
With
Because they
Yeah,
had a great coach.
also
They had a
James Harden
great
played a
coach.
lot better last season.
And he actually played defense. You see,
And not to mention that roster seemed to make a lot more sense last season.
it
Like,
did make a lot more sense. This season
And
is like,
Dwight Howard looks like actively involved.
It's
Like he looks
disappointing.
checked out. Like he looks
he's
like
ready to go.
He's ready to go.
He's ready to go to New York.
ready
He's
to
ready
go.
to come to Chicago. He's
like
ready to go
they
to
don't
the
give
NBA.
him the ball. Like
I don't
he
want
just
him in
like
Chicago.
beg. I don't want him in Chicago either.
we don't want him that
But
knucklehead
it
in
just
Chicago.
goes. The reason why they didn't react is, like I said earlier, they weren't surprised he made the shot because he was open. And two, Dwight Howard said this. They said they didn't react, and this is Dwight Howard saying, is because they still had 2.7 seconds left on the clock, and they thought the Warriors was going to hit it like a Hail Mary pray from the gods shot to win.
I
I don't think that's a reasonable
had a
excuse,
timeout.
but it's just I feel like they're always just like you're delaying the inevitable, James Harden. Why are you going to make that shot? You know Steph's coming back. You know we're going to play at the Oracle.
You want to talk about teams like that had terrible locker room chemistry? That's one of them right there. You know, they were talking about the Bulls all year. They're lost. They don't have a identity. That's what the Bulls would have been in the Eastern Conference.
And that's why I'm glad the Bulls didn't make the playoffs.
What the Rockets were. I'm glad the Bulls didn't make the playoffs.
So
They're not looking like the Houston Rockets.
They have Jimmy Butler hit game-winning shots, the bench not even reacting.
That's how they was in the regular season. I mean, that's how the Bulls were. I mean,
and you have two stars butting heads, just like James Harden.
You heard about the report about him and Jimmy Butler and Joakim Noah, like, I guess, hate each other.
Yeah. I think that's. I think Joe.
That might be like legit.
I think that's legit, and I think Joakim's actually a little upset because him and Derek used to be the top dogs. Well, now Jimmy has surpassed both of those guys, and his ego, he's kind of gotten a little bit egotistical.
I feel like that's
he's got a little hyped up in his head.
That's okay
because Joakim can't do anything.
Because we have to look at Joakim Noah throughout his whole career. Joakim Noah is not a good center. He just has energy. No offense to Joakim Noah. He just has energy.
He plays hard.
He just plays hard. He cannot post up.
He's perfect.
He cannot shoot. You know what I'm saying? He played okay defense, but then the minute he got that injury, that defense went out the window.
He's good at setting the table for his
teammates. He's good at keeping
though.
people energized. He's an energizer
All
bunny.
they did was they just slacked off of him and he never passed again.
Even though remember when he actually shot those 15?
Perfect Tom Thibodeau player.
You remember when he actually was able to shoot the ball a little bit with the weird little tornado? Where did that go? You know what I'm saying? He lost everything. His offensive set. He's just not a good center. So I'm
not a good basketball player.
He's getting overpaid. He's paid a lot of money. They're not going to. If they overpay him, that's a mistake. That is a mistake.
One of those two has got.
Because Joakim Noah, I think, still has in his head that he's a guy who can go out there and get you like 10 and 10, and now realistically he can get you like 4 and 9. I think in my mind. He's not
like Taj Gibson, only not as good.
Like Taj Gibson, he's good, but he just needs to go too. It's just like this whole team needs to be. And Fred Hoiberg, everyone needs to go, honestly. But we know Jerry won't do that. But
no.
I like how we were talking about the Houston Rockets and we just ended up reverting back to the Bulls.
But because they're two similar teams.
They're similar.
They're both similar.
Like
the roster, the management, everything. They just have so many problems.
It's like looking at each other, like looking at yourself in the mirror. It's like those two. And I just can't believe the NBA teams are like that. I just can't believe it.
So we're going to move over to Steph Curry. So Steph Curry's he's planning on playing tomorrow.
He wanted to play Game 3.
He plans on playing. In his mind, Steve Kerr is the one who's going to say if he's playing or not. Because do you really want to risk that right ankle injury that's been known to have a lot of problems?
Especially because you can beat the Rockets without him.
You can beat
the Rockets are terrible. They're dysfunctional. Like they got nothing going on.
I say he doesn't play tonight. I think they go. We're up 2-1. Okay, we played great enough. We played terrible, but we played okay. We lost by a lucky basket.
The Warriors played terrible, and they only lost by one.
And they only lost by one. So,
yep.
And that was without Steph Curry. Right. So if we play Game 4 at Houston, and we play average or good enough, and we could beat them, then, total risk to not play Steph Curry, because I honestly think that team could beat the Rockets.
And then also just look at they're going to feed off of this loss. Draymond Green's going to feed off of this loss. Everyone on the Warriors, because they're still the underdogs. Even though they won 70 games, they are still the underdogs in the NBA. Because just like last year, Kyrie Irving wasn't there. K-Love wasn't. You won 70 wins. Okay, that's great.
You think the Golden State Warriors are the underdogs?
They are the underdogs. The NBA does not respect the Warriors.
There's zero chance that
fans respect the Warriors. Fans respect. They won, because people said they weren't going to repeat. People said they weren't going to win 60 games. People said Stephen Curry is not going to be better than Stephen Curry is right now. They have
He could easily have won Most Improved Player of the Year.
He could have, and he actually came fourth. Yeah. He came fourth in voting for the first time in history for MVP player.
He increased his scoring average by the most in the history of the MVP. For a player to come off his MVP season, he increased his scoring by the most in the history of the NBA.
But still, people don't give that man respect. They say, look at LeBron. They're talking about San Antonio a little bit. They're talking about OKC more than they're talking about the Warriors. The only people talking about the Warriors are the fans.
That's blasphemy.
It's the only people talking about the Warriors are the fans.
The Warriors are being talked about all year.
But they're not being They're not being praised. They're not being praised. They're not being praised. They're not being praised.
They had a whole. They
they're
They
not
put
being
the Kobe
praised.
game on ESPN too, and put that game on ESPN, and that game was like over with by the first quarter.
By the time the Kobe ceremony got finished, the game was
the
over.
game was over with. So they've been praising this team all year, like about mid-season, and when they figured out, hey, this team could break that record.
They don't even mention the Spurs.
See,
Nobody's
exactly.
talking
See,
about
no.
the Spurs.
See,
Like, you
and
don't
just
hear
like you
nothing about
said,
the
they
Spurs.
started mentioning the Warriors like, oh, the Warriors actually might beat the Bulls record. They weren't saying that in the beginning when Luke Walton was
But
taking
they
them
won
breaking
23
record.
games in a row without losing a game. They were talking
Yeah,
about.
they were-
Come on,
Come on, they only talk about them when they only talk about them when they break records. They don't give the Warriors the props. So when the Warriors,
Everybody
so,
wants the
but then no,
Warriors
this
to win
is
a
I want the
championship
Warriors to
again.
repeat, but not because of just the simple fact of repeating. I want them to go against the Cavs. I want them to destroy the Cavs in
They
5
already
games.
did that last year.
They did it last year, but they didn't have Kyrie and Kevin Love. I don't want to hear the excuses. They were out the 2 all-stars. I want to see them destroy the Cavs,
know,
and
man.
and I also want to see Stephen Curry win Finals
I don't know the way-
Iggy, he played well, but still LeBron
deserved
dropped.
the MVP.
I don't
Are
know
you
if he
kidding
deserved
me?
it. He
Are you
dropped
kidding
40
me?
points a game. I don't know if a man's
The way
taking
the
another
Cavs,
man.
the way the
Anthony
Cavs been
Iguodala is the
shooting
most
rock-
important player in that series. It's not even close. Like we're not debating this. Like he guarded LeBron for most of the series.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
And he was a big impact on the reason they won that
Yeah, he
series.
was-
I mean, I
a
think a
big
bigger
impact.
impact was maybe because they only had
Draymond
one score.
Green
They had
played
Delly
like
starting. I mean, I think that's an
terrible that
impact right
series.
there too. You can't have a guy who's a third rotation point guard playing first. He can't
He
be
was their
playing.
backup point guard. They didn't have nobody else.
Exactly.
They,
So
got
they
Mo
had a
Williams
lot
and
of
everything. Is Mo
reasons.
Williams injured? Is he done for the season? What's going on with him?
I don't know.
Does
I
he
don't
play?
know. He played a few games in coming into the end of the season, but now he's also back on the bench because apparently his injuries were reoccurring or something like that. So
Man, they're paying
The
Mo
way
Williams
the
a lot of money
Cavs,
to
the
do
way the
nothing.
Cavs are shooting the rock, I think, man, I don't know, man. When it comes down to the finals, if they make it,
I mean, J.R. Smith, J.R. Swish,
So they,
but
Might be
it's looking like
That makes
Slobber
an
knocker.
excellent transition over to the Cavs series. So Stanley Johnson,
yes,
oh my,
the rookie,
I love it.
rookie,
love
keep
it.
your mouth
I
shut.
love it.
he said,
I
you
love
told them that he was in LeBron James'
I
head.
love it.
LeBron James averaging 25 points.
I love it.
Let me
Imagine
go
what he'd
first
be
on
averaging
this.
if he wasn't in LeBron James' head. Would he have 40 points a game?
young man, you just need to, like The Rock used to say on wrestling, you need to know your role. You need to shut your mouth because
I love the
Because
confidence. It's
you're-
confidence.
But
A
it's
19-year-old
ridiculous.
sticking one of the.
It's ridiculous.
It's not
He
ridiculous.
doesn't- he's averaging 24 points a game.
Yeah.
You're not in
and
anyone's
he's
How many
head.
points
making
did LeBron-
ridiculous shots.
How many points did
all
LeBron?
game long.
How many points
He's
did LeBron
shooting
average?
over 50% from the field.
I mean,
I like the
perfect
confidence.
example. The next game after Stanley Johnson says, after he said all those comments, the very next game, I think yesterday, LeBron goes right over him for an and one layup and looks at him. And that's the perfect image of dude, you're not in my head. You're not
It's okay
in my
though.
head.
It's okay.
It's
This,
not
this
okay.
is what a rookie.
No.
I
The
feel like
whole-
this
the
is
rest
what
of the roster
this
is
is what
gonna suffer
rookies
because
should
of
do.
it.
No, it's not suffering. They're suffering because Drummond can't make free throws. That's
They're
why
suffering because they're not as good as the
Stanley's going to be a
Cavaliers.
good
Everybody
player.
knew that.
Stanley, I like Stanley's
I
confidence
agree. I
because
agree.
going
He's
forward,
gonna
because
be a
he's
good basketball player.
He's going to be a really good basketball player. And
Yeah,
the
but
fact
not
that
right
he's
now.
not afraid to back down against LeBron James, I think that just speaks value to his character right there. That just shows you.
I think it's ill-advised to
I
call out
think it's
LeBron
ill-advised.
James in that kind of fashion. It doesn't make any sense. Because basically, if he's scoring all the time, you're not even defending him all the time. You're like the guy that comes off the bench. He plays like 20 minutes a game.
I think the
and you're in his
NBA
head. You're not even the starting.
I
You're not
think the
even
NBA
starting
is
on your
going
own
to
team.
change that rule. I think they're going to change that
the
rule.
Hack-a-Shaq
The
thing.
Hacker, Drummond,
No way.
They
I
have
think
to
I
change
think
it.
they're
What
going
are
to
they gonna
change
do?
it.
What are they
I
gonna
think
do
they're
with
going to change it. I think they're going to give, if you do that, I think they're going to do they're going to give you a 2 in the ball.
No way.
No, I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to do it just like this. You can't foul someone who doesn't have the ball intentionally to
Or it
get
might
that
be a
person to the
technical
Totally
line.
foul.
disagree.
Or it might be a
They're-
technical-
Make your free throws. It's not hard.
Hey,
Just make 'em.
it's about the rotation and
Just
having
make
big hands.
the free
you know.
throws.
I have big hands.
It's
and sometimes
fundamental.
shooting free
It's
throws.
basketball fundamentals.
It's not
to make
fundamentals.
your free throws.
If you have little
but
hands,
if you got
Make 'em,
huge
make 'em free
hands,
throws,
got
please.
huge
if you got
hands.
huge
You got
hands,
huge
it's
hands.
hard to
It's
shoot the
hard.
basketball.
it's
Just
hard.
make the free
Look at
throws.
all the
Just-
guys in the NBA that got huge hands.
LeBron James can't
despite,
really
you know,
make free throws, and LeBron James is one of the best players in the league.
He is the best player in the
No,
league.
Stephen Curry overtook him.
No.
Stephen Curry
LeBron
overtook
James
him.
is the best player in the league.
But look at his free throws. What is he, like a 67% shooter
He's
from the free
not
throw
that
line?
low. He's in the 70s at least.
Low 70s.
Just make the free
Low
throws. They're not
It's
gonna
hard
change-
to shoot.
They're not going to
basketballs
change
with
the
big
rule
hands.
because people can't make free throws. That's a fundamental part of basketball. Just make them. Period. Just make the free throws. What are they going
I
to do with
think
the
they're
rule?
gonna change the rule.
I don't
I
think
think
they're
They're
going
going
to.
to change it
the rule.
where you can't
I
foul
think they're
someone
going to change the
intentionally
rule.
without the
If
ball
they
to send to the line.
if they're making the rules and changing it for teams like the Golden State Warriors.
And it slows down the game too. Okay, yeah, you're down by 5.
I know it's
and
bad. I know you don't. I know
slows
it's.
down
I know
the
it's
game.
not entertaining basketball, but I just don't think they're going to change the rule because a couple guys in the league can't make free throws.
You're leaving your best defender
And it's not
virtually off.
And it's not like in the past where it was just Shaq who couldn't shoot free throws as a center. Now it's like we have multiple centers who cannot shoot free throws.
Everybody in the league has one player that they don't
But
play.
back in the day, it was just Shaq. Okay, Shaq was so dominant. He'll dunk on you. Whatever you do, even when you foul him, he'll dunk on you. And he can't shoot free throws. So I understand that. But now in this league, we have a lot of centers who cannot shoot free throws.
We have a lot of them that can.
They have to change it. It's more.
But yeah, we have a lot of
they
players
have
that
to change
can. Like, you're gonna change the rule because there's 3 teams in the NBA who can have a player that can't shoot free throws.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're
come
talking
on.
about
Like,
the Clippers.
you got the Rockets, the Clippers, and the Pistons, and
Pistons, and that's pretty much it.
There are 3 teams in the NBA who would benefit by this rule change.
Yeah,
3.
3, 4 teams.
It just slows down the game.
I don't think it's
they don't have to
because-
change it completely, but they have to do something where it's not as often where it could happen. Maybe say you can't intentionally foul someone with so and so amount of time on the clock, and then they'll go to the line. Maybe they just do something like that, but they're not going to get rid of it completely because, like you said, there's only 3 teams that have centers who can't shoot free throws.
I just feel like the NBA is just real, like they're just like that. I think they're always looking to change rules, and they're always looking.
But if we're talking about rules.
players.
Look, can we talk about why flopping and LeBron James is not getting fined every single night?
Oh, stop it.
Why is that man not getting fined?
You're just a hater.
Why
on
is he
LeBron.
not getting fined? You
know,
know,
you
I
know-
look at his flops. He's 6'9", 250 pounds. Who's knocking that man over realistically? A point guard's not doing it. Some centers can't even do it. So
I
you
think
tell
the flopping rule
he-
is a
they
really
got to
too much.
enforce it. They have to enforce it.
They put that rule in because they wanted people to say they haven't done anything with it.
They
Like,
haven't done anything with it. They do it against scrubs on the bench who do flopping. They don't do it against the people who actually flop.
I hate like the center flops when the point guard's coming down the lane in the center, like the big 7', 265-pound center,
Going
like
against a
flops
5
over like
foot-
he's a twig against like a 5'10" Isaiah Thomas. That's a problem.
So that
Yeah.
brings us to Isaiah Thomas. So he may get suspended for Game 4.
It wasn't intentional.
It appears he threw a punch at Dennis
It wasn't a
Schroeder.
punch. It was a light little
But
graze.
The NBA, the way the rules are in the NBA, it'll be looked at as an open.
It's going to be looked at, but if the NBA is actually sticking to his gun, they'll realize, okay, was he looking at Reggie? No. Was he intentionally, did he push his hand into his face after he felt his face contact? No. It was just
I'm telling you,
Wrong place at the wrong
Brian
time.
Windhorst sounded very confident.
wrong place
that
at the wrong time.
They're going to suspend him.
Yeah,
Like,
but
he sounded really confident.
if he's suspended, then they got guys that could step up.
No, they do not.
Yes, they do.
But
They have guys that can
They don't have.
step
They
up
don't know Avery
and that
Bradley,
can
and you
play.
take Avery Bradley. You take their starting backcourt, and you remove them from their team. Dude, they're gonna be terrible. Like they'll score like 50 points.
No,
I
there's
mean,
no Jay
Isaiah
Crowder.
Thomas-
Is there no Jay Crowder?
No, he's playing, but he's
Isaiah
he's
Thomas,
scrub, dude.
if he gets suspended,
Marcus, there's no Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart,
Yeah, but
Marcus
he's
Smart's
terrible
playing?
too.
he's not
He's-
terrible. He's not
Evan
terrible.
Turner?
He's
Evan
wrong.
Turner's
Jay Crowder?
okay.
Jay Crowder, Evan Turner's probably going to
Those
take
are
over
the
the
guys
duty
that
of
got-
point guard.
Marcus, like that was
If they suspend
Marcus Smart?
Thomas, I think this will set a precedent. Okay.
Avery Bradley's injured.
You know how many
Yeah.
people would get suspended
He's
then
always
if they
injured.
suspend Isaiah Thomas?
They-
You know how many games they'd have to watch and actually look over, okay, was that a
That
malicious
surprised me.
hit?
He's part of that Sacramento,
And then how are you going to suspend a guy when he drops 42? He brings the Celtics back to win a game. How are you going to suspend a guy
I'm just telling you.
who's not even known to do that in his
I'm
career?
just telling you that it could be a thing. Like he could get suspended for the game.
Well, then
And
what happens-
if he does, the Boston's going to get blown
What did
out.
Dennis
Like,
Schroeder do to, instigate it?
Exactly. The whole
Oh,
game.
oh,
The
oh,
whole
come on.
game.
Oh, come on,
the
man.
whole
You guys,
game.
you guys
Dennis
go
Schroeder
tit for
is-
tat.
Whole game.
Dennis
He was
Schroeder didn't do
crybabying
nothing.
the whole game. You wouldn't see this back in the day. Oh, he touched me. Why are you gonna call a foul?
Right.
Come on
And
now.
the officials actually went to Dennis Schroeder, like I guess at halftime, because they reviewed it at halftime. It happened in the first quarter, and I guess they told Dennis Schroeder that they missed it. So like they apologized to him.
It just-
Oh,
if he
man,
gets-
they're only doing that because he's from.
If he
you
gets
know, whatever.
suspended, it just shows the president how the NBA is kind of turning to the worst a little bit with how soft players are. now.
Yeah, man, he's
You can't even
soft
take a little
European
tiny hit.
player, man.
Michael Jordan got punched.
Yeah.
People punching everybody, clotheslining people in the past. Did they complain about it? Yes. But
No.
did they get back up and play and stop
No.
complaining about it? Yes, they did.
Yeah,
now,
this
oh,
guy's-
you just tapped me on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Are you going to call a foul, ref?
Oh, you're gonna call flagrant?
Are you going to call a flagrant?
Oh, he tapped me on
Oh,
my
he
neck.
tapped me. He hit
That's
me.
a flagrant
Oh,
3
I'm
or
a
2
flop
or
on the
whatever
ground.
the
I'm going to look
case
like a
is.
ballerina as I fall to the
He
ground.
needs to get out of
He
the
needs to
game.
go.
But
You got LeBron going, that's a flagrant.
It's a flagrant.
Yeah,
But if
come
he doesn't
on
get
now.
suspended, I think they have a good chance of winning the game on.
Yeah.
Because man, Boston's been
Yeah,
even without
Atlanta's
even
been
without.
playing pretty good, though.
Yeah, Atlanta's so like they're
Atlanta's
so,
always
they're
good in the season, but when it comes
extremely
to the
inconsistent.
playoffs,
Like,
they're
because they're a jump
inconsistent.
shooting team. Sometimes jump shots don't go in.
And honestly, they don't have a star. They don't have
they got
Paul
Paul- I love Paul Millsap.
Paul
Me too,
Millsap's not a
man.
star. He's an all-star.
game is amazing,
He's not a
man.
superstar.
Al Horford.
Al Horford is an all-star. He's
Paul
not a
Millsap got
superstar.
those long arms, like 7-foot wingspan, I think.
Al Horford's
He's
pretty good.
31. He's on the decline. And then Al Horford's going to leave them this season. So who would they realistically have?
They might lose.
Who wants to go to
Jeff
Atlanta?
Teague.
They don't even want Jeff Teague. They want Dennis Schroeder
Yeah,
as the
they
starting
want
point
Dennis
guard.
Schroeder now.
They
Jeff
left
Teague-
him. They
They've
left
been
Jeff
trying to
Teague.
trade
But they
Jeff
got Jeff
Teague
Teague for
all
another
year.
year for like really nice money.
He's the team captain.
making like $8 million.
He's the team captain. Remember when they left him on the bus? How you leave your team captain off the bus? They don't want him. They don't want him. They want Dennis Schroeder.
They've been wanting to trade Jeff Teague since the offseason.
Yeah, but they can't get any value for him, like, because his contract is so nice.
I know.
'Cause
his
he's not
contract
making
is
any
pretty
money
good.
at all.
Not
Like,
making any money.
he's like $8 million. Like,
And he's a really good point guard. It's so disrespectful what the Hawks are
So
doing.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
But the Hawks, I
Disrespecting
realistically,
your
if they
name.
do beat the Celtics, they're going to lose in the second round. They're not getting to the conference
not
final.
according to him.
They're not that good of a team.
Oh yeah, no, I had the Boston Celtics
The
going
Celtics
all the way
and
to
the
the
Heat.
finals.
Celtics and the Heat.
And-
Those are the two teams. I want to see the Heat
I
versus
think-
the Cavs.
I think the
and I
Heat-
want to see the
I wanna
Heat
see the
beat
Heat.
the Cavs.
I want
think
to see the Heat
Heat-
beat the Cavs too.
I think the
if they
Heat
get, if
are
they
gonna
get
go to
Chris
the
Bosh,
finals.
like at some point, any point.
If Chris Bosh comes back in that series, you know
over
how
with.
electrifying the Heat
Imagine
will.
that lineup would be incredible with Chris Bosh.
No,
You have like
I'm-
Hassan
that
Whiteside at the
team
5
has
with
a
Chris Bosh,
possibility to win the
Dwayne
finals.
Wade, Gordon Dragic, Lil
with
Dang
that
at the
team.
3. Like, that is a
That-
really
that's,
good.
That's a championship contender team.
And then you
That's
have
a
Joe
team that
Johnson
could-
coming off the bench. Is
That's
like,
a team
That was
could
an amazing
probably-
pickup for the Heat. Joe
yeah.
Johnson revitalized the Heat.
That's a
Absolutely.
team that could
Oh.
possibly beat the Golden State Warriors.
I don't think they can beat Golden State.
I don't think anybody.
I
I
don't
think,
think
I
maybe
think, I
Oklahoma
think,
City.
I think this is what you do. I think this is what you do. If the Heat actually went to the finals, I think you like play Luol Deng at that 4 spot.
Or Joe Johnson at the 4.
Or Joe Johnson.
Joe
You
Johnson's
play
too
small
slow.
because
He's playing the 4.
you play. Yeah, you can play Joe at the 3 or Joe at the 4.
It's
It
not like
doesn't matter.
we're playing in the league where they're like power forwards.
Any of those
Yeah.
guys
I
match
mean,
up
Draymond
well.
Green is their
with-
starting power forward, and
Yeah.
he's 6'6" or
Any
whatever.
of those guys match up well with Draymond.
And I think
Green,
he could
that's
check
fine.
Joe. I think Joe Johnson could check Draymond Green.
But then you also
think
age.
Luol
Or even if they
Deng.
threw Luol Deng on
I
him.
think
The
Luol
thing-
Deng could just be.
The only downside of the Heat, I think, that can possibly mess them up going down the road is age.
Yeah.
D Wade's 34, Joe
Yeah,
Johnson.
body breaking down and
Body's
stuff.
breaking down, maybe get a little
Because I don't
hip
think
checks every once
I
and
honestly don't
again.
think they're gonna get Bosh back. I don't
But
think.
No,
if
I
Chris
think
Bosh,
that's
I
serious,
guess I've
man.
seen
Blood
pictures.
clotting.
I've seen pictures of him. He looks like really underweight.
Yeah, I don't think Bosh is coming back. I don't think.
I mean,
Bosh
But
he
even
might have to
still, I
retire.
feel like the Heat
Yeah, it's
versus
sad.
the
Yeah, I
Cavs
love
would
Chris
be a
Bosh.
good series. And Chris
He's a
Bosh,
good guy.
hopefully he does get better because he's an amazing
One of the
player.
good
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
An amazing player.
He's
It's
like
unfortunate.
I respect him a lot because of like the
Respect
role he played when he was in Miami. Like, he
Especially
took-
coming from the
he
road
took-
when he was on Toronto. He was the top dog.
He was the man.
He was
Him
the
and
man
Bargnani.
in Toronto. And he
Him and
came to the
Bargnani.
Heat, he took the back seat to win those championships.
And he was a good soldier about it. He didn't hear
He
nothing
didn't
from
hear
Chris Bosh.
no complaining like you see nowadays.
Kevin Love?
Oh, I don't get the ball passed to me so I can shoot my threes. I'm like, why are you complaining? You're on a team with the best player in the league, and you complain about not getting the ball, and you go to the finals when you've never been in the finals.
He's never been in the playoffs. You
Never
know?
been in the playoffs. At least Kevin Garnett took him to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying.
Kevin
They
Love
com-
is not like a Kevin Garnett.
Oh,
Kevin
my
Garnett
Lord.
He's not a
The only thing
transcending
they
player
share,
like KG.
the only thing they share is the
Not at
first
all.
name. That's the only thing those
Yeah.
two players
They
share.
played in- they
don't
both played in
share- they
Minnesota
don't
for a
And
share
that too. That's the
games.
only two things they
Yeah,
share.
yeah, no. So you're right though. I like Miami. I like Miami's chances.
All right, so
man.
we're gonna transition out to the NFL now, though.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about this Eagles trade. So they trade up to 2.
Yeah.
Actually, the deal not bad. They gave up like a first next year, a first this year, and a second round pick next year. So not bad. They have to give up to get like 6 picks up. So
The
you don't like it?
Eagles are a team that they're not gonna be good.
They swapped out the number 2 pick with
Yeah, Miami.
With Miami.
Yeah, so then they flip that pick.
They're
to-
not going to be good regardless.
I think they'll
the
be all right.
Eagles are a team of disarray. They're disappointing to watch. They're supposed to be exciting to watch. But then all the turmoil last season, not going to bring it up. They're even swapping picks, what's that going to do for their organization? Who are they going to bring in that
They thought maybe they could get like
organization?
Ezekiel Elliott at 8.
You still think the Browns are gonna go get a quarterback?
No,
No, not at all.
at 8. I don't know who they're gonna take.
Not at all.
Paxton
Exactly.
Lynch?
I told you.
Dude, I don't
Didn't
think.
I tell you,
I
though?
don't think.
Didn't I tell
do
you?
not think it's because they had signed RG3 that they made
And
this deal.
talking about
It's
RG3,
not- it's not-
he's
it's
going
not-
to revitalize his
Browns
career.
are not gonna
He's
go
going to
get a
revitalize his
quarterback.
career.
I
His-
told you things were gonna happen. Things were gonna happen, and
They made this trade because they have a lot of holes, and drafting a quarterback is not going to solve all of their problems.
exactly. So why not go get?
But it has
other
nothing to do. It
players?
has nothing to do with RG3.
RG3 is going to make
just because they
come
have-
on.
RG3 is going
It
to
has
show.
nothing to do
He's
with
going to show
RG3,
them
okay.
why he didn't get a fair shot in his little tenure with
No,
the
he
Redskins.
didn't.
He
He
didn't get a
didn't.
fair shot because
He had one good
if your
year,
coach
and-
doesn't believe in you, how are you going to make
Mike
your team?
Shanahan did believe in
if
him.
no, he didn't. He said it to the public, but in the private, you know he didn't believe in you.
He was the,
If
he
your
was
coach-
the one who
this
made
is
the
the
trade.
discussion.
If your
No,
coach doesn't
he
believe
was
in
the
you,
one
it's
who
a
made the trade to
it's
get
a
him.
trickle-down effect. If the coach doesn't believe in you,
He
how are
did-
your players
he
going to
did
believe
believe
in
in
you?
him.
How are your O-line going to believe in
Yes.
you? Who's going to believe in you if your coach doesn't believe in you?
Any given Sunday.
We've been talking about this. We've been talking about this for weeks on this show now. Mike Shanahan.
No, he didn't.
Yes,
No,
yes,
he's
he
the
had.
one who
Yes,
made the trade.
He did make
Make
the
the
trade.
trade.
RG3 was
And he
perfect
was
for the Shanahan
and
system.
he
That
was
zone
he
read
was the general
with-
manager or
Yeah, he-
whatever the case was. So he did have the power, but but what was the purpose of drafting Kirk Cousins?
What was the purpose?
That was just like, hey, look,
Yeah,
we're gonna
he
get
was-
RG3 because everybody wants us to get RG3, but I'm really gonna get my guy, and that's Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
He didn't
And
even
that's how
start
he-
Kirk Cousins.
He didn't because he knew
If
that
he would have
RG3
started
was better.
if he
at
would have started
first.
Kirk Cousins, it would have brought it all to light. Would have brought it all.
If he would have
to
brought,
light.
if
He
he would have
didn't-
started
he
Kirk
wanted
Cousins,
RG3.
You're not gonna start RG3. You're not gonna start Kirk Cousins over RG3. Just come off.
They should never have drafted Kirk
Heisman
Cousins.
Trophy.
I'll give you that. That was a terrible decision.
That was why are
for
you
the psyche
drafting
of
a
RG3.
quarterback?
You
Right.
trade up to get the second
So
overall
that's
pick.
why they're not. That's why they did all that because they don't want to get a quarterback
They don't wanna.
for the psyche RG3.
No, you still have quarterbacks on the roster that are still there.
That aren't
Luke
any
McCown.
kind of competition to RG3.
Josh McCown. Josh McCown.
Ah.
You know,
Josh
the guy-
McCown had his good stint in Chicago.
He had a couple games where he played against
Um,
terrible teams and he put up some decent
No,
numbers.
you don't get rid of the
Oh,
quarterback
stop
with the
it.
highest rating. And for Jay Cutler, I will say this till I die.
Okay.
The Bears made a mistake
So,
bringing in Jay
They
Cutler.
played nobody. They're like you look at that. You look at who they played. The records of the teams they played when Josh McCown was the quarterback. They made the right decision.
They didn't make the right
So
decision.
yeah, so the Eagles are definitely going to get a quarterback.
Yes.
They're
I
gonna
don't
get-
know which. I think the
they
Rams
want
really
Carson
like Wentz.
No,
I think
Rams
the,
like Goff.
they like Goff.
Yep.
There you go.
Man, I think
Set
Carson
in
Rams
Wentz
are
stone.
going to make a splash.
I think
Set in
Carson Wentz is
stone,
gonna
set
be-
in
The
stone,
Rams are
man.
gonna make a
Carson Wentz
splash.
is going to be.
The
I
Rams-
think he's going to be awesome.
The
Going
Rams
to
do like
LA.
Goff. You're right.
Yeah.
Going to LA, the Rams are going to make a splash. They're going to bring in big people. They're going to draft Big Eight. Who?
They're going Hollywood,
who
baby.
Who doesn't want to play for the Rams right now?
They're going Hollywood.
Dude, come
What do you
on. Jeff Fisher's so overrated as a coach.
Yes, Jeff Fisher is an overrated coach.
How
I
he
don't
keeps
think
getting
he's-
jobs is beyond me.
I think he's a glorified defensive coordinator at the head coach position because that's all he is. He's not. He has no type of good offensive genius to him.
Like you have Tavon Austin, you have all these. They have a bunch of weapons. They can't score at all.
They can't score not one bit. And you had a
Is that
guy,
Nick's
Nick
fault?
Foles,
Yeah,
who
that's Nick
had
Foles'
crazy.
fault.
No, Nick Foles was really
That
good
was
in
Nick
Philadelphia.
Foles' fault.
He was good at Philadelphia.
He was
Yeah,
good
yeah.
in a different system. He was good in a
Then build
different
you
system.
train for the guy, build the system around him.
You don't build it
they
around
had a
Nick.
bunch of
Nick is not
receivers.
a quarterback you build around. He's just there for
Nick's not a quarterback you build around. You're right, but at least Nick could get the ball to wide
If you
receivers at
if
certain
you were
spots.
those two teams, by the way, like the Rams and the Eagles, so you got Nick Foles on your roster, you got Sam Bradford on your roster, you got Chase Daniels who's getting absurd amount.
And
of
now you're
guaranteed
gonna go
money.
get another
And then
quarterback.
you got Chase Keenum.
Now you're gonna go get another quarterback.
Yeah.
So what are they gonna do?
They gotta trade one of those those guys. Like if you're
Who do you
Sam
think-
Bradford, like are you getting rid of Sam Bradford before the season?
I'll
starts?
give it
don't
to
think
Sam.
they're
He's
gonna get a
injury prone.
quarterback.
He's too injury prone.
I don't think they're gonna
love
get a quarterback.
Sam.
The Eagles?
The Eagles.
What?
No, I don't think they're
You don't think
gonna
they're
get.
gonna get?
I don't think. I don't know. I don't
number
think.
2 overall.
I don't think they're gonna get. I don't think. I
have
don't
to
think.
get a
I don't think they're gonna get a quarterback.
Are you going
For
to
some reason,
trust Sam?
You
would
just
you trade up?
made me change my mind because you just read off all those quarterbacks, and I'm thinking.
They're not all.
Are you going to trust Sam? Are you
No,
going to trust Sam this
They're
season?
they don't. You don't trade up to the second overall pick to not
Get a quarterback.
Yeah, but I mean, you could
Well,
also
well,
try and get Laramie Tunzel.
No, they could have gotten him at 8. They could have gotten an
No, I don't think you could have got him
at 8.
at 8. Well, you could have got you could have got Stanley. But,
Somebody.
But I'm saying
You
like,
don't-
why
you
would
don't
you
trade-
get a quarterback?
You don't trade up if you're not getting a
Sam
quarterback.
Bradford. I mean,
Do you
Sam
trust
Bradford's a
Sam
guy.
Bradford's legs?
Yeah.
Do you trust that?
Not
Every
to
single
mention,
season.
Like
They
his
got
money
Chase
isn't
Daniel
like
on that team now,
his
right?
game isn't all his money isn't all that guaranteed for the season after this.
Nope.
So you just waive him and like no big deal because NFL contracts aren't guaranteed.
You can't trust him. Like he would have been a great quarterback, but you just can't
But
trust
Chase
injuries.
Daniels is getting a lot of.
Let's
God
hope Carson
guaranteed
Wentz.
money,
Let's
like
hope if they
absurd.
get a quarterback, let's hope Carson Wentz. I mean,
I think Carson Wentz
who's
is
he throwing
gonna
the
be
ball
big
to
time.
over there?
They got
Philly. Who's he?
81 Jordan Matthews. They got
They got
Jordan
rid of a lot
Matthews.
of
They got
they got Darren Sproles I think still.
they got Riley
They
Cooper.
got Ryan Matthews, more broken clavicles than touchdowns.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna switch over to Josh Norman.
Wow.
Like when that Josh Norman thing like hit when I first read it, I was shocked. I couldn't believe that the Panthers like rescinded that franchise tag and
He
made
wanted-
him a free agent.
He wanted too much money. and the Panthers.
Yeah,
don't
but you
wanna
can
pay
just
him.
keep him one season. Like
Yeah,
you
you
have to
can
have
keep
him at the
one season.
franchise tag. I understand.
I do disagree. I do disagree.
They
with
should've
that.
just kept him,
I do
like, for
disagree
one
with that.
season.
Keep him for one season, try to win the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
it's like
Now-
trade him away after like either in the season or after the season. Like,
Now they're gonna have to try to find someone in the draft who can
Yeah.
at least kind of replace what they lost. with
maybe
that.
they could trade up and get like a Vernon Hargraves. I don't know who
They
you
could-
could
they
trade
could
up
find
with.
somebody.
Or they
They could
trade up
find
with like
somebody.
I don't know. Somebody wants to move back, you could trade up and like trade with the Titans maybe and get like Eli Apple.
I feel Josh did that. He signed with the Redskins because he wanted to play against Odell.
I don't think so.
He wanted to go
Daniel
against
Snyder threw him
two
a
times.
ton of money, and he's like, okay,
I mean, money doesn't hurt at all. You know,
52
52 million?
something like that,
52 million
guaranteed.
guaranteed.
Guaranteed,
That doesn't
yeah.
hurt in the slightest. But if you want to go, he wants to go against
$75
Odell.
million over 5 seasons.
He's
52
worth it.
Million of it is
I feel like he's
guaranteed.
worth
Fully
it.
So
guaranteed.
he's getting 52 million fully guaranteed, right?
Yeah.
He's worth
He's
it.
getting 52 million fully
There's
guaranteed.
13 million
Yet you let there's people out here
$23 million
that
of that
wants-
money is not guaranteed.
that want
on, yeah, tell 'em.
NFL players
Tell
to
'em.
have fully guaranteed contracts.
Yeah, they should.
Fully guaranteed.
They should have fully guaranteed contracts.
75 million, but 52 million of it is already guaranteed.
That's still
If
less
he
than
hurts
baseball
himself-
players make. That's half the money baseball
Yeah,
players
but
make.
it's a violent
half.
sport. It's such a violent
Baseball-
sport.
It's about to be half of what LeBron's about
It's
next
such
contract's
a
going to be worth.
violent sport. I don't get why it was.
Because
such a
you're
big
talking
deal.
like an owner. Like you're not really caring about the players. Like
We are caring about the players.
We're
Football,
talking
football's an
$52
aggressive-
million is
You
enough
telling me you
to-
can't live
for
off
a
$52
whole
million?
generation.
You
but
can't
that's
live
why
off.
a lot of NFL players end up in the poorhouse.
That's because they don't know how to. No,
they
they
don't know how to manage
they
their
don't know how to
money.
manage their
They
money.
think they're
It's
gonna
not
have
because
all
they're-
this money. They think they're gonna have all this money, and then they don't hit their like incentives. They don't hit like the thresholds. They don't hit any of their incentives, and they end up with like a much less
That's because
contract.
when they signed that $52
and then
million
when they got all those bills
guarantee,
coming in, like, oh, I thought I was gonna have this money, but then they ain't got nothing. It's like, oh,
But then
do they
that
get
goes-
waived or they get nothing.
But
they
then
get
that goes,
nada.
that goes back to them not being able to manage their
In
money.
every other sport,
If you make
every
over,
other sport, if you sign a contract for a lot of money with guaranteed, you're gonna get that money even if they waive you.
even
52 million guaranteed sounds pretty good to me.
It's half of what they get in the
That
NBA.
sounds
if you
pretty
make
good.
over $1 million,
Half.
you are
That's
set
half
for
of a
life.
max
You make
contract.
$52 million. If you don't know how to manage $52 million in one lifetime, I
You
think
think
that's
Josh
a
Norman
person.
was worth a max contract? Like,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
compare an NBA contract to an NFL. You think he was worth like a max deal?
Oh yeah.
He only had pretty much
And he didn't sign a max deal.
1.5
Max
good
deal was
years
like-
in Carolina.
Max deal's
What
like
has he
21
done in
million.
Carolina but have one good year?
He was a fairly good corner even before then. Like yeah, he
That's
was
why
like,
I said 1.5 good seasons because he showed a little bit the year before.
I don't think he deserved to get more money than Revis or Patrick Peterson.
No, not at
No,
all.
not the slightest.
Not at all. Come on, you guys are wasting your money down there in Washington.
Yeah,
that's why they're a joke of a franchise. And you know,
Daniel
you go-
Snyder is notorious for wasting money. Like all the money he threw at
Come on,
Albert
man.
Hainsworth or
This is
Deion
a-
Sanders or
The list goes
if I
on.
was the Redskins, owner, I would have signed Josh Norman for a shorter deal, with a little bit more money each, probably like a 2 or 3 year deal, maybe even.
I don't think he was going to sign there if you give him that. Like the
Why would
the only reason he went there is because they offered him a ton of money. Like 5 years.
Yeah, well,
$52
I don't think
million
it's going to be
fully
worth
guaranteed.
it.
It's
I don't
not
think it's going to be worth it. What
One
if he
guy's
like a
not-
tears his
he's
Achilles
not
or
gonna fix
something?
that team.
But they're going to probably win. All those other teams in the NFC East are terrible. And
No. Wait. First of all, hold on.
Don't even start with the
Dallas
Cowboys.
Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys
You can never
are
count
going
them
to
out.
be
Skip it.
healthy
You
this
can never
year.
count them
They're
out.
going to be healthy
No,
this
they're
year.
not.
They're going to have
Tony Romo is never healthy.
They're
You
going to have
cannot count
Tony
them out.
Romo. I have a feeling
Cannot
they're going to have
count them
Tony
out.
Romo. They're going to have Des Bryant all year next season.
They
That's
got
a
Alfred
team.
Morris.
And they got Alfred Morris. They stole.
You
took
can't
him
count.
from
You can never
Washington.
count out the Cowboys. You can never count them out.
You can
Each
count them out.
season, I say
They're
they're
not
not going to
gonna-
be good,
they're
but
not
they
gonna be good this
surprise me.
They
surprise
They're
me.
gonna come back. They're gonna take that division next year.
I
I don't believe in
They're
them.
taking that division
I don't
next
think
year.
Tony Romo can stay healthy anymore. I think his time as an elite quarterback is over.
That's not over.
I think Kirk Cousins was like the only quarterback
And
in the
they-
league that threw like multiple touchdowns.
And they don't have
every
they
game.
don't have a backup
But-
that's worth anything, worth a grain of salt. Like,
No, I think the Cowboys are gonna come back and be playoff.
Totally
contenders
disagree.
again. No.
Cowboys are gonna be
Go ahead,
So you
disagree.
think Washington's going to be better than
Yeah.
Dallas?
Yeah.
No.
Easy.
No.
No.
Who's that
question.
quarterback?
No.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, but he's not. Yeah, no.
No, he's
No,
not
I don't
that
think
guy.
so.
He's not the guy.
He's the guy right now, but he's not the guy. I don't think for that team for the future.
You just argued that the fact that they drafted him because they really wanted him to be the guy.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
wanted him to
he's
be
the guy right now, but the way I look at it, I don't think he's gonna be the guy.
He
for
was
the future.
terrible in that playoff game, though.
Yeah,
was
that's what I'm saying.
Really bad.
He's not.
Really
he
bad.
doesn't look like he's the when the bright lights come under him. I think he's gonna shrivel,
Yeah, that-
like almost like in an Andy Dalton type of
They have
way.
some.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have some good players on that team. Like they have like Deshaun Jackson and like Josh Norman. Like they're gonna be okay. If they don't have a running back.
Morris,
that's-
they got a couple,
they're
decent.
all terrible.
Like
Matt Jones.
a couple. Matt Jones, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Matt
You know,
Jones.
Matt Jones.
But with Kirk Cousins, he's going to be he's a better backup, I say, than starting quarterback in my opinion.
I think he's a backup
He's
quarterback.
a backup quarterback who can come in. Yes, you are
Like a
confident
Brian
that he
Hoyer.
can win you a few games, but a guy, how many games do you realistically think he's going to win? I say
Next year, only 7
I
games.
say seven.
If
I
you
say
win- if
7
you win
games.
If you win 9 games in that division next year, you'll probably win the division. The division stinks.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys are all kinds of
I
disarray.
say Dallas
Tony
wins
Romo's-
10.
The
No, I don't
Eagles'
think so.
defense is terrible.
And the Giants will probably be better. Maybe.
I mean,
They
need to
spend
get-
a ton of money in free agency.
Eli needs to retire. He needs to take heat from his
No.
brother.
No
Eli,
way.
they need a better quarterback.
Eli-
That's my
Eli's so young.
Eli's not young. He's not
still
young. He's not
He's still young.
He
He's
needs to
younger
take
than
the
Peyton.
hit. He needs
He's
to
younger
take
than
the
Peyton by
hit.
like 5 years,
He
right?
needs to take the hit.
like
He still needs to
36.
take it. He's not.
36. He's like 34.
No, dude, he's
He's
definitely
like
not.
34 or something
He's been
like
in the
that.
league like since like the beginning of time. Like think about it. Like can you ever
Eli's
remember?
been in the league since the beginning of time.
Can
Okay?
you ever remember a time where Eli Manning wasn't in the league?
Eli.
Yeah, I can. Like back in 2001.
But okay,
When he
so
wasn't in the
Eli's
league, he was
okay
still throwing
quarterback.
passes
Peyton
at
Manning
Ole
was
Miss.
up here. Eli was always trailing him. Even though Eli does have his titles,
Eli's clutch.
Eli is definitely
I
clutch.
would not trust a clutch quarterback for a season. I think Eli needs to retire.
You're full of it.
He needs to retire.
I don't think they're gonna let Eli retire. And he's not gonna retire.
He's not going anywhere until he
He
wants
needs
to
to
leave.
Right? Yeah, he's gonna retire there.
Didn't he have more? How
Giant.
many interceptions did he throw?
We'll leave him alone.
I
We're
don't
not
know.
gonna bash Eli Manning.
Right,
on the
Eli,
triangle.
right.
Come
Eli
on.
Manning
Okay.
has got 2 championship
You got 2 rings.
and we're happy that Peyton has 2 championship rings, and they, hopefully they can ride in the sunset together.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That-
So I think that's
pretty much it.
pretty much it for the
about it.
triangle. Thanks
Pretty
for
much
watching.
it.
We hope you guys enjoyed it. So we'll see you next week.
All right, everyone.
Peace
Peace
out.
out.
Good night.